everyone, welcome back to Real Talk. This is episode 7. We're going to talk about real estate, real life, real fun, and real conversations. So as you all know, it is April, and we have been supporting Autism Awareness Month at KPG and also in my family. And I'm joined today by one of my dear best friends, Amy Goldberg.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, welcome to your first podcast.
I know. So exciting.
I know. So, Amy, we've been friends for how many years?
25-ish.
Yes. So raised a lot of kids together.
Yes.
Have had a lot of fun.
Yes.
And a lot of real conversations, actually.
Yes.
Yes. So
Talk till you drop.
I know, right? So I wanted Amy to join us today to bring awareness to autism. So Amy is blessed to have a very special young adult, Jeremy Paul Goldberg. Mm-hmm. And tell us about Jeremy.
So Jeremy is an individual with autism. He was diagnosed when he was about 26 months, and it's been a very interesting journey through all of his years. And now he is an adult, and he's out of the Department of Ed system, and he's in a day-hab program.
Which we're going to talk a lot about.
Doing really well.
He is doing very well. So as I mentioned, Amy and I have been really close friends for many years. So I've seen Jeremy through all different challenges, all different highlights of his life. And we have not rehearsed any of this. So I have memories flooding into my brain. One of them is when you came over to our house for the first time. And, you know, we do spend a lot of time together. And I mentioned that we do have a lot of real conversations about anything you can imagine, to be honest with you. And many things you probably don't want to imagine. But in our friendship, I've learned so much about autism, and that's one of the main reasons that we support autism awareness so much at KPG. So tell us about when he was diagnosed, how that happened, and a little bit more details on that subject.
Okay. So Jeremy was a typically developing infant and early toddler, and he had a medical event. And after that medical event, about 6 weeks later, he was behaving differently and becoming extremely, extremely difficult. And we happened to be in a nursery school program here in our local community. And I spoke to the director and I explained what we were experiencing. And they recommended that I get him an evaluation.
Okay.
And we did that. And 6 weeks after the medical event, he was diagnosed to be on the spectrum.
All right. And so you were very proactive.
Yes. Once we thought there was a problem, we, sought treatment right away. Back then, it's a lot different than it is now. That was about 19 years ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah, things have changed dramatically. The numbers have changed dramatically. The level of support families get changed dramatically. The acceptance into the community has changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. And all those kids that were diagnosed during that wave are now becoming adults, which is why I'm so passionate about the adult program that I helped to open.
Yeah, definitely. So what, you and your husband, Dean, did a lot for Jeremy. And you do have another son, Hunter, who I also love. So shout out to Hunter. And now a grandson, which is super exciting. And Hudson, he's beautiful and adorable. But you guys did a lot to support Jeremy through his journey and with services. So talk a little bit about that and what you guys did and what you kind of feel is the most important of what you did.
So I think the first and most important thing is accepting that there is something going on so that you can seek treatment and help. Definitely seeking your pediatrician and your developmental pediatrician, two separate things, is the most important thing because that opens up avenues to therapies and in-home supports and records that you'll need when you get to school age,
Yeah.
which is always challenging. We did get him enrolled right away in an in-home program, which was through the state. And then we supplemented privately through our own insurance, which insurance is really difficult to navigate with special needs children. And then we also kind of made a commitment that whatever we had to do financially for him, we would do, because the early years are the most important.
You did a lot of special services.
Yes.
Yes. So you had someone coming into the house pretty much every day.
It was called early intervention then.
What's it called now?
I think it's still called early intervention, but all of the categories have changed, which I'm learning and navigating again as I have people in the community who reach out to me and ask questions and are looking for support.
Yep.
So we had speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. We also did swim therapy. We had a sensory diet, and then we also had behavioral interventions and ABA, which is a trial teaching method that we did with him.
He is, I mean, it is, I'm not ever minimizing the challenge, but he is well behaved.
Most of the time.
I mean, every once in a while he does get upset.
But from where he was,
oh my goodness,
when he was 3 or 4 to where he is now,
yes,
you would never believe it's the same child.
Yeah, but he's so kind, so loving, and really does adapt well now into situations. Yes. Amy, along the path that you've taken with Jeremy, what have you learned?
The most important thing I've learned is that everything's going to be okay. There are times when we all have different struggles in our lives, that we feel like we're alone, or we feel that things won't get better, or we're not sure if we're making the right decisions. And I think at the end of the day, the most important thing I've learned is that at the end of the day, everything will be okay, and that you can navigate anything.
Yeah.
And kind of one of my sayings is all for the love of a child.
Yes.
And there's nothing I wouldn't do,
of course not,
to help him. And it's all based on how much we love him and want him to be as independent and as productive as he can be.
And he's doing remarkable, which we're going to talk about, which is so exciting. You mentioned about people calling you up and asking advice, and I know you're very willing to help people and have those conversations because they are afraid, right? Mm-hmm. It's a very alarming feeling because you want to do everything to protect your child. Mm-hmm. And then when something like that happens, you need someone to kind of tell you a few steps. I actually had a client call me, 2 weeks ago, who was having some struggles with their grandchild. And actually it was their niece, their great niece, I believe it was. And they know that we support MB4T and autism at KPG. And they wanted to know who I knew that could help them. So, of course, Amy got on the phone with our wonderful client to help them, to kind of navigate and to give a little bit of guidance, like start here, then do this, and talking about different schools and, helping the child find the right home for them at any age.
Right.
Which, as you mentioned, it does start early. And can you imagine if you didn't do what you did?
He would be a completely different person.
He would be a completely different person. And I've always said to you guys to be very proud of you guys. You should be very proud of yourself for everything you've done for him because it is remarkable. So what do you wish that someone told you besides everything's going to be okay, that you will figure it out? What do you wish you knew in the beginning or throughout the whole entire, 19 years?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think the thing I wish I knew the most was how hard it would be, but how rewarding it would be.
Okay.
I think that's something you learn along the way because at first it's really, really hard and uncertain and daunting. And there are days where you can't even imagine getting past the next 5 minutes as opposed to the next 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. So I wish I knew after seeing all the reward of our hard work and navigating things with him, I wish I had known that the reward was definitely going to be there at the end.
Okay.
And for me, it is, and will continue to be.
So he graduated from high school.
He did last June.
Which was awesome. It was a big party that I may have come to. He turned 21.
Yes.
Which is awesome. So that was a big party. And no, he did not do shots with everybody, but I'm sure he wanted to.
He did shots of mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Exactly. He does love ice cream. He does love his candy, which is good. And what are some other milestones that you could share?
Well, he graduated from his 8th grade program at his special needs school. He made his bar mitzvah, which was unbelievable.
Can't even imagine.
He participated in sports.
Oh, he loves. So he played basketball.
He did.
And he bowled.
He bowled. He loved bowling.
Yes.
He was on the bowling team. He was on the basketball team. He was on the Spartan racing team for his school.
He's very tall.
He is.
Yeah. Amy's not tall. Jeremy is very tall. How tall is he? 6'3"?
He's about 6'1".
Yeah.
And he
But his
weighs like
legs-
147 pounds. So he's very lanky.
But his legs are 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So that's what makes him look like he's 6'7". And he does love to swim. He is obsessed with the water.
Yes.
You guys have a hot tub, and he is like his favorite place to be. Mm-hmm. What is his favorite thing to do? Do you think puzzles? Like if you said to him, what is something that you want to do? What would he pick?
He would always pick something in the water, either going on the boat, going in the ocean, going in the lake, in the hot tub, swim lessons.
Yeah, but he still takes swim lessons every week, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And puzzles, when did that come into play?
He's always been a puzzle kid.
Okay.
And I would say within the last 5 or 6 years, he's definitely developed a unbelievable visual memory.
He does have that visual memory, which is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so once we started introducing more puzzles and harder puzzles, he just took to it. And now he's at like 750 pieces in a few hours.
They're all over your kitchen table sometimes, which knowing you, Miss Meticulous, that's a really big step too.
That is true.
That is true, yes. I'd be like, I don't know, can we like put that on something overnight? But that just shows how much you love him. As many of you know, I have 3 children. So my oldest is Mackenzie, my middle is Madison, and my youngest is 22, Spencer. So Madison, our daughter is an OT. Mm-hmm. So she works with, sensory gym for special needs. Mm-hmm. And she wrote her essay about your special Jeremy.
Yes.
And his love for the water. Mm-hmm. And went into becoming an occupational therapist and helping people with the therapies because of Jeremy.
Yeah.
So I mentioned to you once years ago that the good, I guess is the only way I can think to say it, that came from Jeremy and the lessons that we've all learned from being part of, quote unquote, your family are endless.
Right.
Completely endless. Mm-hmm. If you, like when Jeremy was learning everyone's name, Mac, right? He knew Mac's name down. And, I love you. I know. And we do that sign every time I see him. Mm-hmm. So he does bring so much joy, not to just your family, but to our family and so many other families. Mm-hmm. I mean, behind the scenes here, Mr. Cashman, he helps out the school we're going to talk about next and lives across the street from you. So Jeremy is like a brother to Josh.
Right.
So it is a very big, large family. So you used to work with me. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then you said 9 years ago, you came to me one day and told me that you were going to be on the helping out with the board at New Beginnings. And I said to you, hey, if you ever get a calling to go work with the schools, be free. And then how many months later did you quit?
Maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 months later, she quit. So she was hired by New Beginnings to start New Beginnings for Tomorrow, which is a day program for adults with autism. So it's in Fairfield on the campus of the Graham family of schools. Am I saying this all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
good.
the MB4T is an affiliate program for the Grayman family of schools.
Yep.
Jeremy attended the New Beginnings program at the Grayman family of schools. And you're right, as I became more and more involved in the school programs, the administrators and the PPO board, which you spoke of, decided that it was going to be really, really important to have a place for these children as they aged out of Department of Ed services.
Absolutely.
And when they all investigated and looked around the state to see what was available, there was really nothing that compared to what we thought we could do.
So when I say left me, but it's okay. When you joined NB4T, and we started to help with the school financially too, through our family and through KPG, how many adults did you have?
So just to clarify, it's a day program,
yep.
not a school.
I'm sorry.
Because there is
I
an
know.
affiliate school program.
Yes.
It gets very confusing. But when we started the program, well, when I left you,
Yes.
with your blessing,
Yes.
I had nothing. I had a pen and a pad of paper. And about a year later, we got all of our approvals in and we had raised enough money to open a program. Our first day, we had 3 clients.
Yes, 3 clients. And our team goes in probably about 3 times a year to do events with the clients, whether it's, a springtime activity, decorating cookies. I mean, you name it, we've done it. Planting flowers. And now, how many clients do you have at the day program?
We currently have 100, and we're bringing 15 more in July.
So you went from one center to how many centers do you have now? How many,
So we have 6 home centers, which has roughly, 12 clients in each, and we have Project Tomorrow that has 35.
Yeah. So it's grown.
A lot.
A lot, which is so amazing.
We have over 50 staff members now as well.
Wow, that's crazy. So when I go to MB4T, there's clients that come out, I talk to them. I always go and see, I would say the original, right? The OT at MB4T, say that 10 times. They're heartwarming. They love to have visitors. They love to do the activities. You guys have done so much over the last many years, but a lot in the last couple years. So I'm going to let you share with everybody some of the things that you're really excited about.
So we're really excited about being at a point in the program where we are renovating original spaces. We're adding new spaces. We opened a arcade, which is fabulous.
Amazing. Tell them about the theme of the arcade.
The theme of the arcade is Alice in Wonderland, and it's the Wonderland Arcade. And our gala last year raised over $130,000 to build and finish the room. We also have renovated our store experience for our clients. So we used to have a little store space, and now we have a country store space
where they can go in and shop. They're given they make up a list. They go in. So it's life skills.
Right.
They have to figure out how much money they have, get 3 oranges, like a gallon of milk, that type of thing.
Exactly. And they also can work in there. So checking dates, moving inventory around, that kind of thing, stocking shelves. So all pre-vocational skills that they eventually can take into work experiences. We renovated our gym, which is called Fit for Tomorrow, which is really exciting. That was the first space we opened 8 years ago in our building, and now it has a fresh new look, all new equipment, everything donated. And we have opened a sensory a sensory space called Take Time for Tomorrow.
I want to go move in there.
Or Take 5.
Yeah, Take 5. So all the walls are painted, the ceiling's painted. It's an ocean theme. It's beautiful, very calming, which is so important for, first of all, everyone.
Right. The staff's more excited than the clients at this point about the space.
I think that's what we need to do, Josh, here. We need to have a sensory ocean room. That'd be so nice. Yeah, but we would all take naps. That's the only problem. So, which I'm sure they want to do too.
Yeah, it's a fully immersive experience where we have sound of, the ocean and the whales. We have fish swimming on the walls through video projectors.
It's beautiful.
We have scenes on every wall. And we have a bubble machine that changes colors like the ocean.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
really
really
cool.
a special space.
Yeah. And then the very special new thing, which I got a sneak peek lunch at, is the cafe. So tell everybody about the cafe.
So Just Delicious Cafe is our cafe that we run on campus. It's really exciting. It's a beautiful space that we renovated. We had hoped to open it several years ago before COVID. And of course, the program was shut down like everything else. And then we had to get reapproved for everything. So it's kind of been this long labor of love that we've been hoping to open. And it's just really special. Our clients wait on the tables and they make the food and they deliver it. And we take donations. Right now, we are open 3 days a week for 2 seatings, 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock. And right now we're only allowing people to make reservations who are affiliated with our program somehow. So parents, staff, friends of friends. And eventually at some point we'll be hopefully opening up to the public.
And you're on Just Road.
Right.
In Fairfield. So very local to all of us living here. So you are fundraising. You're not part of it. You are fundraising.
Yes.
And obviously all this happens, all the special things happen with fundraising. So talk to us about fundraising for NB4T and how people can make a donation if they were interested in doing that or help out at the schools.
Sure. So fundraising is critical because the amount of money that our clients get from their Medicaid and Department of Ed budgets is not enough to really run a program the way we believe an adult program should be run. So fundraising accounts for about 1/3 of our budget. So all the special things we just talked about would not be possible
Correct.
without that. The ways that we fundraise are many. We have grants that we write. We have events that we run. Some of our biggest events are our 5K, our gala, our golf outing, and our beefsteak. Anybody can come to those events. And those are really like the key things that we do.
Absolutely.
As far as raising money. We also do smaller things like chicken pot pie sales.
Have those in my freezer. Soup, have it in my freezer.
Crafts that the kids make.
Have those.
Yeah. So, and then we do, our typical mass mailings at Thanksgiving time and holiday appeals and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all encompassing. Anybody can make a donation at any time through our website, nb4t.org. We also take tributes, donations for in memoriam, in honor of, and in memory of. So you could always make a donation in that way too through our website.
Yeah. When I go on our presentations to sellers, it is amazing to me because NB4T and Autism are part of our presentation, just saying who we are and what we believe in supporting. And many people are affected. And, I have a niece, I have a nephew, I have a son, or I have a grandchild. You never know who is going to know somebody that is on some level of the spectrum.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves. So
Correct.
currently the numbers are 1 in 36 children are on the spectrum somewhere.
And you can also follow us on all our social media sites because we're supporting a lot this month and always for NB4T. So now let's change the subject a little bit. We spend a lot of time together with families, with husbands, and also just the two of us, which is very nice. We talk about every time we have dinner together, if I come to your house to hang out, you come to my house. We do come to your house because of Jeremy hanging out with us. And what's your favorite part besides the cold beer and the cold wine?
Of our friendship or of getting together?
Well, both.
I think it's a consistent thing. Like it's something that is always there.
Absolutely.
I think that we understand each other. We've been through a lot together.
We have.
We've helped each other through some really difficult times. We've withstood changes in our friendship groups, and we've gone through, our kids going away to school and all the celebrations that we've had with bar mitzvahs and babies and birthdays and engagements now and a big wedding coming up for you. So
What's today? What's the date today? Oh, 31 days from today.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
So I think it's like that consistency that, we're close in proximity and we're close mentally and close in our hearts. And we know that we always have each other.
Yeah. We do love a good snack, some guacamole, pretzels, and you're a cold beer person.
Yes, I am.
When we went to Arizona for, what was your birthday? Were you 40? We're still 40. We went to a very high-end club, I guess you would call it, back in the day. And we got a table, and our bill was like $700, and yours was $15. Because we drank champagne, and she drank 3 cold beers. Still drinking the cold beer.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do love the first sip of a very cold beer.
Yes, you do.
But I pretty much don't drink a beer
You're
ever.
Done with that. I'm done with it after the first
exactly.
sip.
I'm like, I'll take the first sip and then I'm moving on. So I also love our conversations. We can talk a lot. I mean, 20 minutes is really quick for us. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to having many more conversations with you. Mm-hmm. Please help out with autism awareness. Please be kind. One of Amy's favorite saying is, everyone deserves a better tomorrow. And that really is something that we are proud of at KPG and very proud to support MB4T and autism awareness. So everyone enjoy your April. You can make a difference, even if it's a couple dollars, $5, $10, $100. Every donation goes towards something special.
That's true.
So, yes. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
And I'll see you Thursday night for a cold glass of wine.
Yes,
okay, awesome.
I will.
All right,
thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Bye-bye, everybody.